Mama na say ma PENDREAM TV there osia
Attorney General Kasa ombo Electoral Commission for D-Wom adentra. Your questions you be say busa nne. Na enyimbre the breaking news nne say a story we aye me in 2019 or 2020 before elections. E catch the Ghana for say Tolon MP no oya criminal a ya che no e wa brochire pen. Emma nkrata no me de be kire Ghana for say sa MPP Tolon MP no oya kronfo he's not supposed to enter parliament. And then you story abane say eye broja Jemfi e de asemo no akọ court e de nkrata aka ho say e was say ni manimi ya no Supreme Court obi a oye kronfo a ya che ne da wadem our criminal record no only the right to hold any political office in Ghana. Nanton, and your Tolon, Nanton. Iddrissu, thank you very much. Nanton MP, Mr. S, get me his picture. So I'm going to take my time and read a year. Right now, a year, Broja Jemfidiako court, no. Now, I shall say, Emrana, Supreme Court, Nanton, and your Tolon, I'm sorry, Nanton. Now, this is the document. Tolon, what was Anton? Let me read the document here first. Tolon, MPP's Tolon, 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 and Anton. One was an Anton. Tolon, Colon, book back is back again. Yeah. Mimi crime ya. You call the buckle, ya bani buckle, yay, ya bani buckle. Book back, ya bani buckle. A man up and a chingling, yo. A man up and here, it's also penny here. A man up and tingling, yo. Bola, ha, Tolong, Colong, ha, into my review, Colong, as a camera about down. Mammy church him. Now the Abanyana say, a year, Tolong for Empino. Mamma confusing wa. In Krata way, Abetuja, Yadabatuja 2020. May I show us 2019? I think the episode is there. Me be chire mu say Tolon MP no oya kronfo or your criminal record. He's not supposed to be in parliament. As usual, Kevin Taylor bodam. As usual, Kevin Taylor de oye dwuma John Mahama and the trap na chibila. Eye bro ya Jemfi de asem no akọ eye court. We need the Attorney General to treat this matter with all the agency. Because with this one, the facts are there. He can fly to wherever the criminal case happened, and he does not even need to fly. He can email them. Tolon NPP MP. Nidinde. Mamen kinkai 10 time a chain or Australia no. Police document a say a chain or criminal record or Janet Strom or ex-convict. Ebe say Ghana na obey your politics ebe ra parliament. In Chirechim na be munya botra men kan na men Chirechim say Attorney General Akuffo Addo so munimum bra ye be hwe de besi ye be the Supreme Court be me say by election there etata so now on the 5th of December 2011 Assembly Australia MRJ Taffon 3 Brookford Court Janda Court WA6164 Janda Court WA6164 Asemwe SC Ewo Western Australia Police MPP Aseme SC ni nchirechire mu no me bekin kan chirechire mansa ne aban na asem no so Godfrey Dame Attorney General we oye Attorney General on tie futuo oye foot soldier political Attorney General on Dwene Ghana ho. Now Tolon MP no so sana ya chire pen oyekromfo. Now okay reference number na 3105111615104110. Incident number near 3105111615104110. Oko Australian police system ni ma ebebo pie asemwe abrofu twantro mini Canada Japan court case na over America. Nasa wo enter Canada Japan versus Kevin Taylor and Loud Silence Media gigim ebepie de course nyina o meka kire o de wini ye ne de o do wini abrochire no I Tolong. Now when you read the document free Australia police one banner be chirechirem Janda court. Janda court. Now I say Habib Iddrissu eye Tolon for MP. Oh yeah, MPP ni Habib Iddrissu. Mr. S, get me his picture so that I can read the document side by side with his picture. Thank you very much for bringing it, Mr. S. Let me move it onto the system. P Black, BM, Abraham, I have friend and I miss you. No homo. Mami chirem, she. Aha, chirem ni MP we ni can asem no Tolon. MP, your friend Honorable Habib Iddrissu. Na asem da pono so, abrofo krata na mebe kenka chirem, asante, eye kofo, infantefo, bo de mo te brofo kakra infantefo mo ya de. Eye me nuanom kranfo mo ntimi ka H, in kranfo no H, it is not H, it is H. In kranfo, it is not H, it is H. Okay? Eta. A spell a letter H nya a not H and crack mami eba oja engrafo mami ka semi chen cranfo ansa ne ato aka esire so encranfo sibia eye India for ne Pakistan for entumi ka 50 cent am ka 50 cent no monso aya H the letter H enye H eye H mo kana mtie eta H not H H is not H, it is H. In kind for my mom warning. You are my guys. Come classes say a listing a bo ABC letter say a critical listening. In your classroom there. Every bio FT. Tr0uble. Concentrate on classes. H, it is not H. Stop saying H as H. When I'm done, I'll call you the guns to come and tell me if you can pronounce H, not H. All right, let's do the Philip so and the way. Okay, me no Kevin now ebio a darling boy Kevin Taylor ne eton H minke pronounce H minke pronounce H not H pronounce H eta aha. All right, moment to aso I can't be go kill me engrafo afa me betirechim letter ni na okan letter na ansa me be kan broja jemfi court na wakono ye be chirechirem. I say Habib Iddrissu was charged with 1 charge of forgery and 10 charges of fraud in relation to purchases he made using the MasterCard belonging to you. Police for letter omotro e dia koma nipa na eye Habib Iddrissu Tolon for MP a born krono South Australia no. Police for say ya mo Habib Iddrissu 2011 ya chinu kuya or a Game Boy or ya fraud. Police for say Mr. J Tafon the Habib Iddrissu Ghana niya and the oye MP or Tolon or 2011 in ewo o card no say o wia o card o MasterCard ayo credit card no and o wia no police for exchange say or the bokro no na omo charge no 1 charge of bibi friend no forgery yakasa forgery a che say or the kotikwan adane bibi or trodin bi no adane obi signature or the watron way bi so atron akwana dendan no e de ni ato ho dendan de afa forgery and almost say almost sa ebon 10 charges of fraud yakasa fraud 10 charges are na che say we di dream abokro no adada nkofo abomo po esisi omo ewie omo fraud no sa na friend brofo no fraud na mi chechebu twi no wa bo forgery first omo say first no forgery or the koti kwanswa dendane eye ennyoma bi ani say tro ne sa or the krata asemia watwa tro adane dane nipa bi or the din bi ahye bebi ani so de hye wa sign signature bi bebi ani so de sign eye kro no omo de charge ba kwa bo no eno masa bo de charge du na sa charge du no eye fraud na brofo kase fraud a wafa koti kwan so abo apo ebu nipa bukata etwa nkofo adada omo buo mo abo mo krono edi omo dream edi omo brim edi omo sika no ageso sika no ekwan ani so ogeso so the tree na me kirekire mu no yanko anim na say o kronfo pa o yewi pa yeah na say first class ewi the American na tie difference be anim yes tie asakra sorry tie. On the 28th of November 2011, Iddrissu appeared in the Perth Magistrates Court and pleaded guilty to all of the charges. Say, 28 November 2011, Iddrissu of the TVC, yadene ba court was South Africa, your first court no, court your friend Perth Magistrates Court. Now ba hono obeka kire gan Australia ni police for mo chi ni nyina ne say no kre wabokro no we di dream we di apo wabofogji krono e da to so nyina South Africa no ogitum o wo bokro no ni nyina wa plead guilty yakase wa plead guilty na je say wa gi atum say wo ye wi wo ya kromfo wa di dream wabokro no wabapo wabunkofo bukata wo de koti kwan so adandan nyoma awia obi nsemaja pade ene ne fe no pleading guilty to fraud. Aminum suram chichirim ejuma na din o me ka bibia ejuma no edin rough. Hey, Mr. S, Mr. P, my here. In church, I'm going to start my time. Okay. On so na deputy majority whip our parliament. Over parliamentar MPP for side no. Yeah, come majority whipper. On na MPP for kotoa ba. Oh, munyina muntu ni say. On na ye penyina odi anim. Deputy majority whip. Into MPP for cross man 2 million parliament. Oya kronfo. Techu amoaboaten ena MPP aban Akuffo Addo mo ene oseche mensa bonso no ankasa so no enye ne din no ono so kobo kro no wo school ena mabema akwa wei de dibre e parliament ye beba ho na betwem na me kirekirem. Now okinkan krata na free Australia ba na nkrata ne say restitution was ordered by the magistrates in the sum of $4,999 to you. Say court ni semra say brantie Mr. Iddrissu no Habib Iddrissu no court share ni say sika ode wo Mr. Gideon Mr. Tolon o credit card no koye dream ode ko die ni nyina court share ni say ontua almost $5,000 enfama if you say sika bia owie free wo card so oko anima o say in relation to this, Iddrissu stated he had paid you back the full amount. And the police for say, Mr. Tolon, Iddrissu says he cannot rear no G2 more quarters with Riano, also with training in our mount. If he has not, then you must make an application to the court, Perth Magistrate Court, 501 Hay Street, Perth, for restitution. And a brofone say, se sika no se Mr. Habib Iddrissu ntuamawa be report quick na yenko so ne pa every say oya kronfo. Now you will need to quote the following charge numbers. And charge numbers are maybe quote charge we nyina ya charge ayede abo Mr. Habib Iddrissu e wo kronum fraud mu forgery mu e wo Australia charges nkwani o charge numbers ni NPP ayo rade Akuffo kwasiafo nko a charge number 1 11,43957 charge 1 charge number 2 11,435,958 charge number 3 11,43959 charge number 4 11,43960 charge number 5 11,43961 charge number 6 11,43962 charge number 7 11,43963 charge number 8 11,43964 charge number 9 11,43965 charge number 10 11,43966 charge number 11 1143 967 ni nyina ya charge krono charge de bo Habib Iddrissu NPP for adena baso medi MP e wo Tolon just MPP there me nyotwe me nyadwa akromfo nkwa. Last we taken it in Japan. And this is how I made my money. When I was in the US, in Bronx, I was driving a taxi and then I was making $3,000 a week because at the same time, I bought 8 times. Oh, but damn. I call Bronx go to taxi. What but damn. Another time, no, or today is how I made my money. It was through green card. We frauded people and then we took Ghanaians to America and changed names. The next day, also this is how I made Nipa Bako. You made your money through 10,000 different means. Akron 4. And I was driving taxi, and every week I was making $3,000. What but damn, now I'm going about you taxi or bronze. And then I bought a taxi, and then when I bought a taxi, I get a taxi to the person, and I was working 2 jobs, and I'll make 300 and say, oh, but damn, oh, because I say, wait, grass for no. Now, any trouble, any other some question, I said, well, what do you make a big job? Be our bronze. Oh, 19 and now we have $3,000 a week. Oh, bronze. Now, I'll file taxes and I send out here. Oh, free. What is it, Jimmy on Kennedy? I bought you say restitution. Now, Uko Wenima. During the investigations, police seized the following items which Mr. Iddrissu purchased with your card and has been forfeited and can be released to you on presentation of this letter to AUX office Rooney at Murdoch police station. Say time investigation say Mr. Iddrissu Eko Ria Mr. G Tafon card no Mr. Gideon Tafon card no nyoma odi shopping ye odi ria or Game Boy akwa or Game Boy enti nyoma Mr. Iddrissu edi card ni ria ni nyina no abrofo police for ne say omo gi ni nyina enti so pesa nyoma ni nyina ombra police wo na omo fa nyoma ni nyina ma no on record no this has been stamped. And the Oko Perth Magistrate Court. This document is there. Now Oko Asiwa yours faithfully. Simon Baxter on a Sergeant 10510 or no NM Murdoch Police Station on a DISASSOCIATES and now by frontline first stamp on a bosso. It is a court document you can follow up. Now where your MP Tolon MP. Habib Sakawa Iddrissu or Nene MPP for MP. Or we expect the Attorney General to take immediate action. By election, etataso. Na meme dia kura. This guy is a Yahoo MP. Or Yahoo MP. Game Boy MP. We ba catch us say NDC for Akromfo, Mahama ya Kromfo, NDC for na kwase bi dinechi. Oba be catch us say o papa Kevin Taylor kwase ne papa mobra ewi to say na waba Ghana, wabedi MP. We person no hototo jachi kwesin. Ewi fo we no papa say omo equalize bibia wo Ghana. My boy you say restitution, bro, for the rough restitution. Now I mean, church idea be munchiramu. Inti aye broja jemfi ako court. Na broja jemfi at the document way. I said story me in 2009. Try and find the story. Me in 2019 oh said yo and me catch Ghana for so way or come for. Who will follow me at Chapano. This story is not new. I did it in 2020 or 2019. Na me catch Ghana for say this guy has committed a crime. This story is not new. I have told you people about 4 years ago. I know this guy was a criminal. Made the story in the Baha. The main media ignored it. It is in our archives. Loud Silence Media. With all due respect, videos. You will find it. And I'll be happy if Mr. S you can pull this out so that I will show people. Yentana will be. We are not going to do Osla, Mr. S. No. Save it. Mr. S, save it. Now, into Broya Jemfi as what they call court, let me read a little bit to you. Na yentwa eye dwumadi no so. Oh, the crime wasn't, thank you very much. The crime wasn't committed in South Africa. Oh. The crime was committed in Australia. I'm sorry, it's a slip of tongue. Thank you very much, comrade. Maybe I would imagine say crime they're committing or South Africa. It is not South Africa. It is Australia. I have friends Australians about South Africa a lot. In the South Africa, there are a lot of Australians there. Yes, and when you go to Australia, there are a lot of South Africans. In fact, the Australian English is similar to that of South Africa. We have lived inside. We know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. It was a slip of tongue. What I want to say is, Tr0uble or born Australia. Thank you. And I've corrected this. Thank you very, very much. Or your comforted boating. Now, Broja Jemfi, as what the court. Let me read a little bit. And that young court end the case. So our time is very, very good today. Okay, Broja Jemfi court document now. Say in a writ filed at the Apex Court, that is the Supreme Court, Monday, November 7, 2022. Broja Jemfi argued that the legislator was convicted of fraud in Australia before 2020 elections and therefore was not disqualified to be a legislator per Article 94(2)(ci) of the 1992 Constitution. The writ invoking the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court to interpret and enforce the 1992 Constitution has named Mr. Iddrissu, the Electoral Commission (EC) and the Attorney General (AG) as defendants. Article 92(ci) of the 1992 Constitution stipulates that a person shall not be qualified to be an MP if he has been qualified. No, he has been convicted for high crime under this Constitution, or high treason, or treasons, or for an offense involving the security of state, fraud, dishonesty, or moral turpitude. End of quote. Mr. Jemfi's case focuses on the fraud and dishonesty aspect of the above constitutional provision. However, per Article 94(5) of the 1992 Constitution, a person caught under Article 94(2)(ci) would not be qualified to be a legislator for 10 years after he had served his or her sentence. It is this contention of the plaintiff that Mr. Iddrissu, who is a legislator on the ticket of the New Patriotic Party prior to contesting as an MP, was a resident of Australia. The plaintiff, Broja Jemfi, says to the court in his writ that he has evidence to the effect that while in Australia, Mr. Iddrissu fraudulently used the credit card of one Mr. Gideon Tafon, a Cameroonian national, to make purchases for which he was charged and convicted. And I quote, the plaintiff asserts that while so basically, from what I am reading here, this case was sent to court before election 2020. No, this case was filed in 2022. So if this was filed in 2022, how come say that what the case we who and Attorney General does not care about this case? Attorney General has not shown any interest in this case. And now year 2023, Attorney General is so busy going after Judge Kwesen. So it is looking more like Amanfo Nsemomoka said the Attorney General is being selective about case or say Odi any day so Odi. No, it is true. Same applies to the special prosecutor. Special prosecutor so to and on also case Gabi Deno and no Odi Dianya Gabi Deno Ondi. The Attorney General today as we speak, why has he refused to follow this case up to make sure say this case it's moved quickly in the court for us to get to the bottom of it? Why is the Chief Justice also not interested in making sure say we don't have a criminal in our parliament? So it is looking like the Attorney General has more to deal with, but he has ignored it to move directly or straightforward to go and harass the NDC candidates. He has nothing on. And this clearly shows to say we are in a country where, so because of witch hunt and because of people are weaponizing using the positions they have, using the Attorney General's office. People are using the small power. No, they are using it against people deliberately. And this is a clear cut example. Actually, say Godfrey Dame is basically doing politics with the Attorney General's office. And it is dangerous. It is dangerous for our democracy because your Attorney General for the past 2 years. Now Odi Asamwechi and saying say he wants Jachikwe to be in court every single day. They know say there's a problem with our judiciary and the justice system. You need to understand, say we have an Attorney General who is basically doing party job instead of being the number one lawyer of the nation. Now this brings us to end the editorial. No? And end the editorial, no, it is clear. People have spoken about how the Attorney General basically about Jachikwe's issue now. It is clear. Say Attorney General no, is basically using Jachikwe to please the political party, the president, and also his political ambition. What we are seeing in Ghana, and then say Jachikwe na semna yekano. Why is it said today when we the media, when the so-called intellectuals, the so-called legal brains, when they are speaking, they refuse to speak about the EC's contribution to Jachikwe's case? Because one thing we need to understand, the Electoral Commission, the right, the Constitution have given them the right to do what? To conduct elections in Ghana. Now the question we want to ask before I start speaking on this matter is, the Electoral Commission, if they have the right to disqualify applicants from contesting from elections, don't they have the same right to check fraud, to check documents that are not legitimate? A simple question. Because if they have the right to stop people, applicants who have submitted documents to contest an election, now say to me stop it for some reason, why can't they also have the same power to stop fraudulent material and not document people want to use in contesting? Because it is the Electoral Commission that has the right to give anybody the green light to contest an election. So if the Electoral Commission has the power to disqualify, they also need to have that power to do what? To be able to stop a fraud or to stop anybody who is thinking or planning to abuse or deliberately lie to the system to get through to contest. Now, Jachikwe's issue no. Obebusa will say, why did we end up in the Supreme Court? Why are we now back to court? Why are we now wasting our time on Jachikwe? And then Electoral Commissioner Omonankasa the prime people are assembly started free. Why have they kept silent? Why are they not speaking? And why are we sidelining the Electoral Commission that played a major role in the determining whether somebody is qualified or not to run for a electoral office in Ghana? Because the Attorney General does not have the right to determine whether somebody should be an MP or not. The Supreme Court does not have the power to determine that this person qualifies to contest an election or not. It is the Electoral Commission that has the power to determine that Kevin, he has the right to contest an election or not. It is their sole responsibility. So Electoral Commission was our power now. Then don't they have measures in place to stop people who want to, at the end of the day, swindle the system to beat us to come take political positions? Now, so Utie Attorney General, Utie MPP surrogates, MPP commentators they are all not comfortable when you bring the Electoral Commission in this conversation. Aditra, Jachikwe sini Attorney General nenya. Na Jachikwe na semno started free he. Where did it start? Now let's do a brief recount of Jachikwe's issue. No, Jachikwe no a Ghanaian or Kokotana Canada, and Okunya Canadian citizenship or be dual citizen. And in 2019, and Jachikwe is over Ghana now over contested for a political position. In 2019, and catch Canadians and some passport. today, as I hand over my passport to you, I'm no more Canadian. I am going back to my motherland. I am going there to contest for a year political position. So I'm no more Canadian. I'm no more Canadian. So the time now Jachi question to every Canada no, the Canadians knew officially or unofficially official say Jachi question was no more a Canadian. That is fine. Now Jachi question ba Ghana no, what he came to do is obeje forms. Obeje forms no, and na okofele forms no say opese or contest as a MP to go to parliament. Now Jachi question ekoje forms no. Some people notified a electoral commission said Jachi question ye Ghana ni. 80 time a easy fred Jachi question and a Jachi question catch easy say. Yes, na me to Canada. Na me Canada ni. Me the Canadian passport na ma renounce my citizenship. Right now no, I am in Ghana. I am picking a form. Now I have also done what? I have also requested for a renunciation certificate. Remember, that was the time of COVID-19 na aba. Over America cry. That time, so what kind of passport cry? They will tell you say passport a 2 weeks, no, a 6 weeks, and 8 weeks, because everything had come to a halt. Now Jachi question call easy no, and okay easy for say mo and na mo de krata na ma say yemfa. Now ma for krata no. The reason why I may pick it actually musem ya Ghana ni say as I speak today to you, I don't have any passport a Canadian. I can tell you on authority and on fact to say my passport as a Canadian, I have given to the Canadian government. I have requested for a renunciation certificate. So I am telling you, take my word that I am no more a Canadian, and put this on record. Now, Jachi Kwesin, when he went to meet Isino, there were timelines, and the electoral commission that has the responsibility to make sure say nobody contest an election whilst they are not Ghanaian. No, they said okay, we hear. Now at a later date, Jachi Kwesi went to the EC. The time Jachi Kwesi went to the EC in 2020 before the real elections, he went to show the EC that this is the renunciation certificate you were asking me the other time. Even though I have officially renounced my citizenship by handing over my passport number, Canadians, now Muslim pe adansi e say the American no kre adansi ni. Now remember, time Jachi Kwesi go easy first, Jachi Kwesi had already filled the forms. Jachi Kwesi had before renounced his citizenship in Canada. Now, COVID aba, the processes are slow. Later, Canadians released that document say Jachi Kwesi ampa. This date, remember, we are talking about timelines here. This date, Jachi Kwesi renounced his citizenship as a Canadian. And from that day now, then the passport Maya, we accepted and notified that he is no more Canadian. But we are also bringing this document at his request to prove say he has actually done it. Because I Ghana Nibia call Canada oh yes sir. So the document that came, it was just an assurance and a proof say what he said he did in Canada. No, why yeah. That process in Ghana Nibia. Now, Jachi Kwesi went to the EC, showed them the document, and the EC Jane Mensah, Bossman, and the Srebo said no problem. We are the Electoral Commission. We make sure we scrutinize the system before anybody can contest elections. So Jachi Kwesi went ahead and contested. Now, after Jachi Kwesi won the elections, MPP for Kwame Attorney General Onoboka said, "Sa time Jachi Kwesi ebe peke forms na office or person or contest no. Emom na wa renouncing his citizenship of Canada. Nanso na onfa kra time be Ghana say or a Ghanaian foe na onye Canada ni. Into that period na Jachi Kwesi ambeboja one may outdooring one kwetena PCF man kase wa renounce no omo MPP di omo ntiase into Jachi Kwesi afomomra. Remember, when Jachi Kwesi came to Ghana, he met the Electoral Commission. Now, I don't think said Jachi Kwesi go share Electoral Commission, no. Thank you, Mr. S. Let me show this. Jachi Kwesi go share Electoral Commission, no. There are timelines, and I'm a boy. And then sometimes Busa Attorney General say, is he going after Jachikwesin because of timelines? And I say Jachikwesin has broken the law. Now, so share renunciation document now. Jachikwesin Echo Electoral Commission or Choma. When you read the document here, Mr. S, I think I had to put everything. There is a clear difference between citizenship and allegiance. Clearly, before Kwesi was elected and sworn in as MP on the 7th of January 2021, he owed no allegiance to any other country. This document you are seeing here, the date of the renunciation was the 26th of December 2020. 26th of November, sorry. So this renunciation document na free Canada for no buy no. It states say 26th of November 2020. That means it was like almost over a month before election 2020. Remember, the elections were held in 2020 December. This certificate that Jachikwesin received from the Canadians, it was on the 26th of November 2020. So he received the certificate. That shows that he is no more a Canadian month or over before election 2020. So Jachikwesin did not have any citizenship link or allegiance to any country the day the first ballot was cast in Ghana. The day Electoral Commission opened elections in Ghana, na Jachikwesin, he did not hold or he did not have any allegiance with any country. Jachikwesin was a sole Ghanaian citizen. He wasn't a Canadian. So I am asking the Electoral Commission now, why is it say and the asema ye kano? The Attorney General going after Jachikwesin. The question is, why is nobody questioning the Electoral Commission? Why didn't the Supreme Court question the Electoral Commission? Because the Supreme Court does not have the mandate to verify people before they contest elections. The Attorney General does not have the mandate to verify anybody before they run for elections. It is the Electoral Commission that has the mandate to make sure that a foreigner does not do what? Does not run for electoral office in Ghana. Now the question here is, what are the responsibilities of the Electoral Commission? Omojuma is saying Jachikwesin case no na ye chirechire mu no. Jachikwesin case no ye pese busa Electoral Commission say in our Ghanaian law, the Attorney General does not have the right to stop anybody from contesting. The Attorney General does not conduct elections in Ghana. The Supreme Court, they do not conduct elections in Ghana. It is only the Electoral Commission, which is a state institution. Now, the Electoral Commission now, in the case where we are not hearing them. They are not speaking. No. What was their job? What is the responsibility of the Electoral Commission? Remember, there is a reason why in TIA, when you go to every institution, there are their responsibilities. Now, from what the Attorney General is saying, it means to say, when somebody comes to contest for an election in Ghana, that person, there is no way the Electoral Commission can stop that person. It is all called back na ko Abu Sakande, Ademu Sakande. At the end of the day, Obi Nebema tip off. Today, the Electoral Commission is not mentioned in the court case, but the Attorney General is saying Jachikwesin has committed a crime. I didn't try. Almost say Obi Nebema tip off. Now, let's go back into the books. Name Busa questions be. Now look at this. Come. What are the functions of the Electoral Commission? Questions. We are Busa Assembly. The commission uses functional departmentalization for greater efficiency. By dividing work tasks between specialized teams, we are able to provide better voter assistance and faster poll process to millions of Ghanaian citizens. Electoral Commission, functions, say, make sure say, ye betua ba, abanin tutu yeno, too much chemu, amanaye easy send ye beya, abatu be a betubian, a beya krojia Ghana for Ghana for no ebehu so mato aba sebio krogen enti omudwuma omudie no ene saade se ne be ya adwuma die nyina se omo be hyehyɛ nyoma yie atoto nyoma na abato no be kokrogen na omo be chichemu ma omudwuma die omudi no de efa ho se computerization system de efa data so ne nyina no omudwuma omo asede so omo keka sa nyoma ne nyina sie ni a ebema abato no akɔ toten ewo Ghana. Now, now the functions of the Electoral Commissioner. Listen. 1. Provide input for the formulation of policies. Almost say Electoral Commission. What you might say yeah, be policies wo Ghana. Almost so able to contribute. Now through that and then yeah, be to say yeah, be referendum no. Electoral Commission took part. They supervise the referendum no na ye about the regions in Siabeka Ghana hon. Electoral Commission played a role, and through their role no they help in conducting the elections, and these are some of the things they do to help support policies near their day. 2. Exercises oversight responsibility for efficient and effective management of human resource of the commission. Omo djuma die no omo function bi ni say human resource nipa mu ye adwuma ewo Electoral Commission Ghana mpotemu bia no omo make sure say obia adwuma oye no odi se oye de oye de also oye na sede oye omo adwuma de wi so omo beboa obia no nipa omo ne omo ye adwuma ewo headquarters any Ghana bia no omo adwuma de bi ni say sankofo nya akande also omo nya de ye adwuma no omo nyina omo nsaka. Function number 3, ensure the development of human resource management manuals for the commission. Omo se ni nyina omo boa omo dwumadie ni bia ne se omo behu omo boa nipa omo be kire nipa omo ni omo ye adwuma no amanage ameki sure se Ghana eba abato ne nyoma de omo be hia domra yi bibia no omo be dim ama bibia akototen. 4. Ensure the implementation of human resource management policies and systems for the commission. Ni nyina almost the same job. 5. Ensure the organizational design and HR planning of the commission. Intinina internal. Omujuma dieni bino no. Send a human relations. Ombe make sure omo Electoral Commission ye juma biano. Omo ho bambo. Omo ejuma die. Omo totuye. Bibiano. Nina eka omujuma die no ho. Oba number 6. Ensure the maintenance of a cordial management organized labor relationship. Or make sure say obi on Electoral Commission ye dwuma bia no sebio uye dwuma e Electoral Commission na Electoral Commission enter by na sia sebio fa hodi a also nya de ye dwuma obi ntietia fa hodi so se ne be bia nipa bebu so ye nipa obi ntietia ntietia fa hodi so obetuma nya adwene enya ahomka enya sebio environmental be ye dwuma ma bibia akototen. Oko number 8 na coordinates, monitors and review staff training policies and plans for the commission. Omo make sure say omo mu ye dwuma Electoral Commission no omo dwuma di omo di ene sebio ye training omo ye bi omo adwum omo ko school ema ye tete omo ye ma bi dwuma omo ye nyina akotete toten no Electoral Commission so omo dwuma di ni bi no. Now ko enim na me kira wade bi. Now oko function 3. Ensure the development and implementation of welfare and safety policy and agencies of government and other stakeholders on issues related to human resources. So these are all internal things your functions. Now when you come to Electoral Commission, research, monitoring and evaluation department, our Electoral Commission, the department develops policies where a kind of corporate service division. No, there's a department in the Electoral Commission. Human resource HR department. Of course, research, monitoring, and evaluation department. Now it says the department develops policies and procedures on the human resource matters for the effective and efficient administration of the commission. Develop policies for effective manpower planning, acquisition, utilization, and retention of staff of the commission. In summary, provides technical direction and leadership for the effective and efficient performance of the human resource management functions of the commission. It is the monitoring Evaluation and Research Department now, their job is simple. They have to make sure, say, when it comes to the Electoral Commission, almost administrative work, Bibia Sebio Krata Sema Befa Electoral Commission, no, the Research and Monitoring and Evaluation Department, they serve as the firewall to scrutinize every activity, administrative activity in Tabase. Electoral Commission, EBA nomination, EBA ABA nomination, ABA a lot of administrative things be also almost a department that basically what it does is it needs to monitor and evaluate, do the research into Electoral Commission as started nominations. They have a team, they have a research team, they have a evaluation team, they have an evaluation team. They evaluate every single document that goes through their process. Into Electoral Commissioner at the end of the day, they have a firewall that protects them from fraud, that protects them from people trying to take advantage of the system. Now, if they are telling us to say the Electoral Commission cannot be blamed for Jachikwe's issue now, the question here is, say Electoral Commission no any mechanisms to check say obi eba contest the elections or Ghana. Na saa nipa ne te say Tolon MP no obi te say Ademu Sakande. If the Electoral Commission does not have a system that can detect fraud, that can detect manipulation, that can detect people holding dual citizenship, then it means to say Ghana as a nation, somebody can come from Sudan, live in Ghana, go and pick a form and contest as a flag bearer, win an election and become the president of Ghana. Because if the Electoral Commission is not going to take responsibility for the oversight responsibility they did not do, then it means the Electoral Commission there, they are not supposed to be there. If that is the argument of the Attorney General, that it is not the fault of the Electoral Commission, the argument the Attorney General is making, and they say, everybody knows the law that if you know that you are holding a dual citizenship, if you know you are not a Ghanaian, you should not contest. But every law, there is a potential. There are potential people who will try to break the law. Every single law in this world, there are people who would deliberately want to break the law. So you will need some mechanism and also some checks to stop anybody who even they know deliberately tries to break the law can be stopped. Because from the Attorney General's argument, Jachikwe should have known. Now I was a Jachikwe who say, so we are dual citizen, we are foreigner, you cannot contest. That is right. But the issue is everybody like Jachikwe? There are some people who sometimes decide so break the law. So what mechanism na easy ediatua say obi try deliberately to break the law. Now say ankonya tip off say Abu Ademu Sakande, because Ademu Sakande somebody tipped us off and they will say we run parliament illegally in case Anka Ademu Sakande nanka or your flag bearer nanka sa time with the president Ademu Sakande time I no parliament he could have been a presidential candidate. Ademu Sakande could have been ruling Ghana as an illegal Ghanaian. So why couldn't the EC that has been given the mandate to make sure say answer na obiampo to me ako contest for election, that person has been scrutinized? Because there is a reason why your police service in Ghana. Now say your Ghana police service we expect to say every driver on the road of Ghana driving is qualified because you have gotten your driver's license. The moment you get your driver's license, automatically you should be able to drive. The moment you are driving a car in Ghana, automatically you know the laws. You have been given a license, so you are permitted to drive. Now, why is it say you were a Ghana police service? Now, so in the police service, you were MTTU. Apart from the MTTU, you were crossing guards, you were red lights, you were zebra crossing, you were stop sign. Why do you think they have that? Even though the system knows, say you have the right to drive, you can acquire a Ghana driver's license and you are legitimate to drive on the street, there is still the possibility and the probability of people driving on the road without driver's license. So they need MTTU. They need the red lights. They need the zebra to check drivers who are driving on the streets without the right, who have deliberately decided to break the law. And we cannot sit and pretend as if say what is happening. Electoral Commission is the cause. No, Electoral Commission should not be blamed. We are supposed to blame the Electoral Commission. As I speak, the Supreme Court is supposed to be directing the Electoral Commission to go and resolve this matter, not the Attorney General. Because if the Electoral Commission we have does not have any mechanism put in place to make sure nobody breaks it, even though the law says that if you're not 18, if you're a foreigner, so when you're Ghana and you want to be contestant, there are people who like to test the system. Now, Abdemu Sekande tested the system. The EC gave us Abdemu Sekande the green light to go. Now, what are the mechanisms there? What is the EC doing to stop this? Because if Abdemu Sekande was contesting as the flag bearer of the NPP, Abdemu Sekande could have been an illegal president. So we can sit in Ghana today per the EC's analogy, per the Attorney General's analogy, that the questions to know. Say answer the forms, no. Say renounce any certificate I cannot pick. It is fine, but the question here is, the question pick form no the code easy, no. Whose job is it to say you can't cross this line because you have not satisfied the rules and regulations? Somebody should be able to stop stop Abdemu Sekande, stop anybody who is trying to cross the line. Does the EC have any mechanism? And the Ghana Police Service, no, why did they have MTTD? Why did they have the MTTD or whatever who are on the street? Because everybody driving in Ghana has a legitimate driver's license. We expect everybody driving on the street of Ghana has a license and they know the rules and regulations on the road. Why do we still have the MTTU department in the Ghana Police Service? Because it is their responsibility to make sure that somebody enforces the law. Who is enforcing the law at the Electoral Commission? Because you can't tell me, say, because you have built a house and it is nice and you have security dogs and you have security lights, nobody will try to rob you. People will still try to rob you. Now the question here is, the mechanisms you have put in place, the NDA, that is why you have a war. But after the war, you have a dog. West dying, you have a war, that is security. After the war, you have a dog. After the dog, you have a security door. Why do you do that? Because it is the responsibility. Somebody needs to take responsibility. The EC is supposed to make sure nobody cross the line. Because we cannot blame the EC for what has happened. We cannot blame EC for all that we are going through and say somebody has deliberately done what? Broken the law. The question here is, what are the mechanisms that EC put in place so that nobody breaks the law? Because if somebody from Nigeria comes today and pretend as if he's Ghanaian, gets Ghana card illegally, contests for an election to be president, and that person wins, and the person becomes president, after 8 years, we get to know that he is not Ghanaian. Who are we going to blame? Who gave the person the green light to contest the elections in the first place? That is what we have to be looking at. So the Attorney General, basically his work, what he's trying to do does not make any sense. The reason why the Supreme Court and the Court and Attorney General are protecting J. Mensah is because they know when they bring J. Mensah to court, this case will end there. The Supreme Court and the Attorney General, they are protecting the Electoral Commission because they know the Electoral Commission, they have failed Ghanaians. From all that we are seeing today, the Tolon MP, Abu Sekande's issue, what we are seeing today clearly tells you, say, the Electoral Commission is useless. They cannot, basically, they do not have any mechanism to stop anybody who wants to contest Ghana's election illegally. They don't. If the Supreme Court could not blame the Electoral Commission, because any Supreme Court will call the Electoral Commission and say, you are the only people with the right to conduct elections in Ghana. Now, the question is going to come back to you. Let us know whether he qualifies to run or not. Per your mechanisms and your structure, does he qualify to contest the elections? Because we are all not angels. Obviously, there are people who want to break the law. Like Abu Sekande, he took this risk and he got through and he was an MP. He was able to use the taxpayers' money to his benefit. Abu Sekande could have been the president. We can have another Abu Sekande who will be the president of the Republic of Ghana. And what are we going to say in the Supreme Court? the EC did not have the mandate to stop Abu Sekande from contesting. The first line of action is the EC to scrutinize every single person before they penetrate. If the EC could not, then you don't have any case against Judge Kwesi. You will not have any case because the EC that has been given the mandate by the Constitution to deliver and set the standard for people to struggle to pass through, the EC let people through. Now back to Kwesi's issue. Has the EC ever made a statement that they did not question Kwesi for Kwesi to justify the reason why that happened? The EC questioned Kwesi justified the reason why that happened, and the EC sat back and analyzed their system and said, yes, you have the green light. So why is the Attorney General today going after Judge Kwesi? Why are we not going after the Electoral Commission? Why are we allowing the Electoral Commission to be there like they've not committed any crime? What is happening today? The main culprit is the Attorney General, not Kwesi. Kwesi has done nothing wrong. In the first place, Kwesi has not committed any crime. Kwesi has not produced any fake document. Kwesi never lied to the Electoral Commission. When you look at the timelines and the meeting Kwesi had with the Electoral Commission, Kwesi had his renunciation certificate almost a month before the elections. Kwesi sat to the Electoral Commission and showed them. We were in COVID era. So for the Attorney General to say, I am basing on the timing because when you picked it, your document had not come from Canada. The Attorney General is stupid. Who was supposed to stop Kwesi and say that, Kwesi, wait, you cannot file this now. Let this come. If you believe it's going to come before the elections, if even it's 5 days before the election, we can make sure you go through. That is what the Attorney General, the Electoral Commission does. But the Electoral Commission gave Kwesi the green light and assured him that he has done the right thing. So why are we here? Why are we going after Kwesi? Why are we leaving the Electoral Commission that was supposed to be the first contact, the first line of contact that was supposed to scrutinize the system? It does not mean Kwesi is guilty, but the possibility of people coming to contest elections in Ghana and riding all the way to the top as the president of the republic is 99.9% right. You know why? Because tomorrow you will get a Nigerian, you will get an American, you will get somebody with another citizenship or another nationality come and pick a document at the Electoral Commission. If God is not on our side and nobody comes to tip the Attorney General off or tip the EC off, we will end up having a foreigner as the president of the Republic of Ghana.
Whenever I say PENDREAM TV, PENDREAM TV, there, I see them, yopo.